Welcome to Kitchen 143. I'm Michelle Aventajado, your resident mama in Manila. And today we are out and about in Alabang. As many of you know, I'm a self-proclaimed lifelong learner. I love learning new things, especially if I get to get in the kitchen with some chefs, some friends, or anyone really where I can learn something new from. Part of that gets to bring me to some cooking classes, and this episode was pre-recorded so that we could share it with you live on the Rappler YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook profiles. You can also tune in on the Momma in Manila Facebook profile as well. And of course, I will be monitoring this, so if you guys want to ask questions, I'll be there to answer them. We are out and about right now in the Epicurean Academy for Culinary Arts. So there's so much going on here. There's so many offerings for all of you who would like to learn something new. But before we get in and talk to Chef Andrea and Chef Gabby, I want to remind you, now is the time you should go ahead and download the Rappler Community app. Go ahead and join the community channel. That's food and travel. So we can have a conversation. You can tell me about cooking classes that you joined that you like, maybe restaurants you want us to check out, or even recipes that you want to share. So let's continue the conversation there with all of you, and then let's continue the conversation with Chef Andrea Amado and Chef Gabby Prats, so they can tell us not only about the class that, the master class that I was able to join today with Chef Wilson Chu, but also about the many offerings that you have for foodies, for aspiring chefs, maybe for people who just want to level up their cooking prowess in the kitchen or their kitchen arsenal. Or maybe they just want to learn something new so that they can make a small business out of it. So hello and thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Welcome to TEACA.
Thank you.
I know the school's name's a bit Epicurean Academy of Culinary Arts.
I like TEACA. TEACA works. Yeah, absolutely. So, Chef, this is not the first time you're on the show. So yes, for those of you that remember our Korean episode where we had Sam O, Jerome McEwen, and also Chef Andrea Amado, we learned so many new things, not just about Korean culture and some Korean dishes you showed us as well. But even skincare.
Yes, we handled, we covered that part before, yes.
So thanks for joining us again. Why don't you guys tell us how TEACA came about, and then we'll dive into what we did today and what we can look forward to.
Sure.
Okay.
Chef, you want to go ahead and talk about how we started TEACA?
Okay, so TEACA was started during the lockdown, and it was the need for a lot of Filipinos to learn things online. We were so bored, we were done watching Netflix, and we want to do something for self-growth.
Right.
So what we did was we launched a website, and we were shooting videos. It's a lot of online videos. These are recipe focused. Mm-hmm. We call it lifestyle courses because these are for the people who just wants to learn a particular dish.
Right.
So we cover, let's say, Korean, Spanish, Filipino cuisine, baking recipes. It's all covered there. So what sets us apart compared to YouTube videos is that you can tap your instructors after watching it.
So we have direct access to the instructors. Now, your instructors are pretty prestigious. I mean, I'm not going to say you've worked with chefs that when you and I first talked about this back in, we did the Korean episode, there was Chef Martin Kaspar. Today, obviously, you have Chef Wilson Chu.
Yes.
And of course, both of you are decorated. We understand that and with your accomplishments. But these are very well-known chefs who are sharing their knowledge and their techniques very easily for us right in our own kitchen.
And you can stream the videos over and over, which is fantastic because some people learn differently.
Yeah.
Like they want to watch it before, they want to review it before they actually make it. So, these chefs, majority of our chefs are industry practitioners.
Right, okay.
So they work in the industry, they have their own restaurant, they have their own company, which is fantastic because they know how it works.
Right.
They have that expertise already.
And they know where to source the good ingredients, and they know where to, how to use obviously local ingredients versus imported, right? So these are all the different things that obviously level up the types of dishes and meals that you bring to the table for your family. So, Chef Gabby, I was asking some questions earlier. We know the beginning started in the pandemic, which is how actually Kitchen 143 started. We started during the pandemic. This is my pandemic baby, so I am so thankful for all of you guys that have been tuning in all these years. But now that we're out and about, so you started online, it shifted. How did it shift and when did that happen?
Okay, this happened over a year ago when we got a lot of requests from our students in Manila to offer more formal courses.
Okay.
I mean, lifestyle courses they're fantastic for those wanting to start a business, for individuals wanting to learn a few recipes here and there.
To wow their mother-in-law when they're sitting at the table, right?
Correct. That's right. But we have a lot of students who really want to go through a more formal course.
So that's different.
That's different. That requires more hands-on participation.
Okay.
That's what prompted us to set up a formal school.
Was that always in the plan, or was it supposed to be, we were going to stay digital, go with digital, and then maybe go global? Obviously, you even said you have been global.
We have been. A lot of our students, we have over 3,000 students for our online classes. But the thing is, before we started the company, we really wanted a physical school.
So this was always part of the plan.
Yes.
And you were able to do it a year ago. You have this beautiful space here in between Alabang and Las Piñas, actually. So it's very easy to get to on Zapote Road. So the types of classes that you offer, certificate courses versus something that is much longer, much more involved, much more rigorous, that can equip someone to, break into the industry and maybe go apply in one of the hotels or the restaurants.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So lifestyle courses are just one of the 3 other courses that we offer. The second one is what we call certificate courses.
Okay.
These are more formal courses that focus on the principles of cooking and baking and pastry.
So that's a deeper dive.
That's a deeper
than
dive.
the recipe sharing.
Correct. Okay. Our certificate courses, they last for 3 months. Okay. And of course, the third type is our diploma courses. Very lengthy at 18 months.
Yes.
That's very comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's extremely comprehensive. It's intended for those who would want to pursue a career track in the culinary or the baking pastry field.
In the industry. So does that involve, classroom type facets and then lab type, when you're tested, you're in the classroom, you're being given information that you obviously need to study, and then of course hands-on in the lab creating all of the different things that you...
Correct. So our courses are designed to feature what we call a 90-10 ratio.
Okay.
90% is practical hands-on.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
for a practical learner like me.
Yes.
Exactly. So in other words, only 10% is theoretical. I mean, don't get me wrong, theoretical knowledge is very important.
Yeah, especially there's a science behind much of what you do.
Okay, but the 90-10 ratio enables us and the student, to spend more time in the kitchen than that of classroom.
Right. And, for those of you guys, there are hands-on learners, there are auditory learners. This is something we know, well, I know, obviously, from working with the population of kids with special needs. There's kinesthetic learners. There's so many different ways to learn, and actually having that practical application probably produces such a more in-depth experience for everyone involved. So today we learned with Chef Wilson Chu. He came from Macau, so we learned some French-Macanese dishes that I'm really excited to tell everyone about. We got to get in the kitchen. I had some lovely partners, some lovely ladies who we were cooking side by side with, so it was fun. But we made a very, what looks like can be an intimidating menu. So the first course is cod beignet, right? So this is like a croquette.
Correct.
And then the second, Chef, what else did Chef? I'm asking Chef because I'm not sure I'll be able to say it all properly.
Okay, the main dish that Chef Wilson did was an Macanese style duck leg confit.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the kids in the back who don't know what confit is,
Okay.
let's explain it to them, and then of course we can show it to them in the video
Okay,
as well.
so confit is actually a French method, technique of cooking duck. It's basically cooking the duck in its own fat, really low and slow.
Guys, and it's so good. So for those of you guys that enjoy duck confit, I know you're going to be excited. We will share this recipe with you. Chef Wilson has generously given us both how he would make this at home, down to, you know, little additions that he would put in. If he was making the gravy at home, he'd add a little pat of butter. If he was making it true to the Macanese style of making it, it actually wouldn't be duck confit. It would be African chicken,
Correct.
Yes.
right?
That's right.
So you can always, I guess, vary or make it to your liking, but understanding that, you know, Chef Wilson and of course Chef Gabby and Chef Andrea sharing these principles with us gives us another way to serve up some goodness in the family. Now, before we plate, I know you are generously gifting 10 viewers their own choice
Yes.
of lifestyle classes.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
So, what are some of the more popular classes? And I know you have a slew. You mentioned more than 60. So we obviously
We
won't
have
be able
more than
to
60.
list them all, but you can go ahead and visit the TEACA website. So is it TEACA.com?
That's
It's-
TEACA.net. That's TEACA.net.
So TEACA.net, and then you can check out the list of lifestyle courses that they do have. But let's, you know, just because I'm curious, what's the most popular one that people log
That's a
on?
difficult question. What's the most popular one?
Is it?
No, we have
we have
Yeah,
different
good.
ones.
All right, how
because
about your favorite? Would it
Okay.
be the ones that you...
favorite, it would be mine.
Yeah, of course, that's what I was going to say. Would it not the one that you teach, obviously?
Well,
Okay, let me answer that, Chef.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
One of Chef Andrea's classes, she has a kimchi
Yes.
class where she teaches you guys how to make kimchi.
Yes.
And she did the traditional kimchi, she did oyster kimchi, and she did mango kimchi.
So,
So that's-
three
Mango kimchi
different
is-
kinds of kimchi in one
Correct.
course.
And that is one of our
Sign me up.
Best-selling classes.
Sign me up.
that's one of our best-selling classes.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So
That-
a lot of
so
the online-
Filipinos just don't love K-pop. They love
Korean
kimchi
food.
too.
Exactly.
Korean
Exactly.
food.
Exactly. And we have a lot of students who actually made a business out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you see it online, you see someone selling mango kimchi online,
They learned it from you.
yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They made small businesses out of their homes. So you're
Which is
empowering.
fantastic.
Okay, question again, before you even got to answer your most popular or your favorite. Do you feel that the people who register for the lifestyle courses, are they more women? Or is it an even mix?
Majority are women.
Incredible. So you are empowering women all over the world.
There you
Look
go.
at that. I love it. Okay, so obviously her favorite is kimchi. What
Okay.
would be your favorite?
Okay, I have a class. It's called Party Trace Masterclass. Okay, so it's a class where I teach 9 very popular recipes that they can actually sell as party trays to
Wow.
go.
So again, that's like another opportunity to create a business from your own home.
Yes,
Correct.
definitely.
Correct. That
Okay.
is to date my most top selling class that I have.
I'm surprised you chose that. Because if I were to choose your best class, I would
Okay.
go with the Cuatro Callos. He makes the best callos. And it
My
has-
husband loves callos.
Yeah. If you try his callos, you have to write your name down in a piece of paper because after trying it, you're going to forget.
You're gonna forget your own name.
Exactly.
It's that good. So it's not slap your mother good. It's
You're just gonna
Forget
forget
your name
everything.
good.
I love it. Okay, so you can learn everything from callos to party trays to kimchi.
Yes.
And in this case, duck confit.
Yes.
That's done with a French-Macanese influence. I was really impressed when Chef Wilson was kind of explaining the history behind Macanese cooking or Macanese cuisine. And he brought in the understanding. Obviously, he shared that it's Portuguese influence, and then as well as Indian, from India. So those spices, and then you have Chinese,
Exactly.
right? So it kind of reminded me. I was thinking, oh, that kind of sounds like Filipino influences, like all the different countries and people who have come through, here between the Spanish and the Chinese and all the different things that we're influenced as well. So I thought it was really interesting. I will share that I thoroughly enjoyed the class experience. It was nice to be able to work side by side other Epicureans, so to speak, right? They're Epicureans, so we're foodies. And for me, it's definitely something I'm going to try and make at home. So stay tuned. I'll post it when I do make it. So one of the things that I was obviously excited about was to learn how to do the duck leg confit. And for those of you that know, duck leg confit means you're actually cooking it in the olive oil, right? And so when we talked about that, I asked Chef Wilson because I saw this big 5-liter or 5-gallon. I don't even know how big it was. It was so big, like you have to work out. You could work out with it if you want to work out in the kitchen. Poured it into this big roasting pan with the duck legs. And my first question was, what do you do with all of the olive oil after you pull out the legs?
Okay, so as you know, while that's being slow roasted in the oven, the duck fat will pretty much mix with the oil, right?
Yes.
And
that's where all the flavor is.
Yes, exactly. So we set it aside. We use it for sautéing. We use it for making duck fat olive oil French fries. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of uses. Of course,
that
it has
right in the air fryer.
Stuff.
Throw that right in.
Yeah.
Evil. That's kitchen
Evil, yummy
goodness.
stuff.
That's
Are you
kitchen
kidding?
goodness.
That is kitchen
That's kitchen goodness.
Who
So we
doesn't
use
want
it
that?
for everything related to poultry.
Okay, so as long as it's a bird, you
Yes.
can use that olive oil somehow.
That's right.
Okay, so I put on my gloves because Chef Andrea educated me that when you put on your gloves, you're handling food that's already been cooked and prepped. So while we were cooking, and we didn't have to chop anything actually, so that was one of the good things about enrolling in the class. Everything was chopped for you. You just had to add. You didn't have to chop. Is there an opportunity if it's a lifestyle class like this or a master class like this that you would actually have to do all the chopping?
Okay,
Or
the reason behind that is simple. These master classes, they're usually 4 to 5 hours.
okay,
And
cuts down on time.
we
Exactly.
have our staff do all the mise en place, the prep, because if the student were to do that, that would eat up at least an hour and a half of
We'd
their time.
How all of us are trying to chop onions. next
Exactly.
day. We can't do
We
that.
want the focus to be on the execution, the technique.
Yeah.
We want the chef to focus on teaching the cooking itself,
Yeah.
not the chopping, not the slicing, not the dicing.
Yeah. That would be another class. Is there kitchen basics? Do you have one like that?
Knife skills. It's a subject called knife skills where we teach them all the basic cuts, okay, mise en place and all of that.
That's
But,
awesome. Can I enroll for that?
Of course.
Mommy's like, oh my God. Especially when the camera's on me. Like, I'm not a chef. I need knife skills.
But in
enroll.
contrast to our diploma programs,
Yeah.
our students in our diploma programs do all the mise en
They
place.
have to.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Are those your students? So you have, I see there's 2 or 3 young men helping Chef Wilson, assisting.
Yes,
Are they
yes.
part of the courses as well, helping
No,
out?
they're actually our staff.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. So let's start plating. I'm excited to share this. We have our duck leg that has already been cooked and drained, and it's ready to plate. So Chef, can you guide me through how to do this?
You want to
Go ahead.
take it? Okay.
Chef, go ahead.
So we made a sauce.
Yeah.
This is the sauce you made with Chef Wilson with all the spices and
Yes.
everything else. So you can put a big smear in the base first.
Yeah.
And then you can put the duck on top.
Right on top.
And then you can put more sauce
On top.
of the duck. But you do not want to cover too much of the duck.
Yeah.
So a bit on the side.
Okay.
And then the rice pilaf. And you can top it with the microgreens as well.
Okay, so let's do one step at a time. This sauce that was made, we started with shallots, peppers, garlic. We sauteed that until they were soft. And then we added, there was so much, paprika, 5-spice powder, There was also cumin, and then chili, and then there was grated coconut, coconut cream, and peanut butter. So those are just some of the, I hope I remembered them all, but you guys will check out the recipe.
You did most.
So did I get almost all of it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and it was so nice that my cooking mate, when we were putting everything in, I said, oh, we have to wait till it sweats, and she turned and she said to me very, very confidently, said, I cook at home, so I know. I said, I'm so glad. We're going to get along so well together because we love cooking at home. So you said a smear.
Yep.
But if you're from New York, you would say a schmear.
Schmear.
Yeah. So I'll say a schmear. So I'm going to put this down. Is that enough?
Maybe a bit more.
Okay. Bit more than that.
Bit more.
Oh. And then schmear.
Yep. Schmear. But yeah. Yep.
You can help me if you like.
Okay, so you can do it this way. It doesn't have to be pretty. You can just put it as a base.
This is the chef that says it doesn't have to be pretty, but she was very worried why we had plastic containers.
I don't like
because she's a chef. That's why, because you're a chef.
Okay, so you can put the duck on top.
Okay.
So just put the duck over here.
Yeah.
And then we'll put a bit, the rice pilaf can be on the side
On the
here.
side, that's why
Yes.
you wanted it nice and big.
Yeah, usually the sauce is, what do you call this? It's more liquid. It's more, it's easier to smear when it's hot.
Yeah.
So because, we've been chatting.
I know. It's not hot anymore, but that's fine. We're
But
still
when
going
it's
to
hot,
enjoy
it's
it.
easier to spread.
Okay.
So from here, we'll spoon a bit of the sauce on top because the sauce, actually, the smell is
It was
amazing.
so good, actually.
The smell is,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole kitchen there were chilies. That's why we were like crying a bit, but smell was
it
so
really
good.
does smell delicious. I wish you guys could just do like a scratch and sniff because it was just so earthy and warm. And it really, when I first tasted it, we needed a little salt, my partner and I. So we added a little bit more salt, but it was just so warm. A little bit of heat in the back because of the chilies. So I can't wait to try this, and I can't wait to try it at home.
And then you just top it with a bit of microgreens on top, just
On
for
top
color.
here. Okay. So a bit. Do we like make them pretty, like a little bouquet?
You always have to make it.
Has to be appetizing for the eyes.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
So,
There you go.
do I pass?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay, so the next one would be the croquette,
Okay.
the salted cod croquette.
Are we going to plate this too, or are we going to put it here, or we're just leaving it here?
From
like
there,
this?
we're just going to serve it with the aioli
Okay.
and top it with the microgreens as well, just to
Okay.
give it a bit more color.
So do we put the aioli on the side, like a schmear again?
You
How do
can
we do
smear
this?
it on this one side, or you can put it on top. So it really is up to you how you want to
So
do it.
aioli is just mayonnaise and garlic?
Mostly, yes. But you can, tweak it and add a bit more, whatever.
This looks
stuffing.
really creamy. Is there
Well,
cream in this?
Mayonnaise only. It's
Mayonnaise
mayonnaise
only.
based, but you can add like olives or capers to make it
so
more
it doesn't
flavorful.
have to just be the garlic.
Yes.
I think the briny capers might be yummy too.
Yes.
Especially with the cod.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Okay. So, chef, I feel I'm going to go for it.
Go
I'm gonna
for
go
it.
for it.
Yeah, just
Would you put it on the
on.
side, in the middle? Look at my self-doubt. Do you see? I'm such a Libra. How would we do
There's
this?
really, you can.
There's no wrong way?
Well, another way if you're
But
not
you know what?
sure.
There is a wrong way for someone who's like me. I'm a dipper. So I would actually put this
Put
on
on
the
the
side
container?
in the container that
Yes.
like
Okay.
goes right on the
Okay.
side.
Okay.
That can,
Or
yeah.
or I would
That
like
would
cut
work.
it,
That would
right?
work.
But
If you're going to eat it right away,
yeah.
you don't have to put it in a container because it's, it's still going to be crispy. But
Well, I'd like to eat it right away. Are we ready? Okay, guys, if you want to follow also on Instagram, it's TEACA15.
yes.
So you can go ahead and follow them. Make sure you follow them because you won't get a chance to win any lifestyle classes unless you follow. So chef, guide me. I'll put it on the side,
Okay.
in the middle. I'm so
Well, I
Libra-ish right
suggest
now.
you go in the middle and just
okay.
make a line of it.
A line with a spoon. I feel like I need a piping bag now. Would you use a piping bag and put little dollops?
It will be a lot easier if you do, but
Yeah.
you just have to make sure you cut a big hole. You know, like there's
Yeah.
those nice disposable piping bags.
Yeah, I use them all the
Love
time.
those.
They're the best in the kitchen.
Just make a
I
big
actually
hole
get
because
them.
this
This
is more
is
like
for
a chunky.
chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And then microgreens.
Yes.
So I feel like that doesn't look like how a chef would make it. Should I put the microgreens on the other side too, so it looks like a barbell instead
it could
of a
be like
bouquet?
us.
Like I feel like I want to add more.
Give it some height.
Oh, like
can
how?
give it
So
some-
they
yeah,
just
like
instead of
that.
making it like a bouquet. There, we'll just leave it. and then, so are we just doing this?
Well,
You can.
This is garnish 101, guys.
Yeah, just
I would, because
distribute
these are
it evenly.
big, I would
Oh, so would you
Cut it.
remove these here too?
like I would alternate it and then
Oh, so pretty.
go
See,
like
look at how
that.
you just need to. You needed to do
There
it
you
for
go.
me.
I just started it. You can finish. There.
So we have to redo that one because it looks really sad. Of course, I'm always doubting myself with this, but I love. So I feel like I need these gloves in the kitchen at home. I'll tell my kids when they're coming in the kitchen they want to help. Put on the gloves.
Because
Let's
sometimes you have long
on the
nails.
Well, I
and
do.
it goes under your
Yeah, I do,
fingernails.
for sure.
And it's so difficult
redo
to remove
this.
it.
Do we take the stems off of this too?
You can.
All right,
It'll-
I'm gonna follow chefs. Because of course Michelle, being the Libra, is like doubting her garnishing skills. So funny. Okay, so when people want to register for the lifestyle classes, they just go to
To the
TEACA.net
That's right. That's
and
right.
they can check it out. And then when people want, or they could come in and apply.
They can message us in our Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can assist them in registering and, what do you call this? Confirming their email address. And after that, they can get the class right away. We can give them access to their course and teach them how to watch the video and stuff like that.
So someone can even help them along
Yes.
with, like, hopefully they would be tech savvy enough that.
We
So
have quite a
guys,
simple.
you-
We
yeah.
have quite a simple process on how to enroll online. But yes, if they do need assistance, they can
You're
just send
happy
us a
to help,
message,
yeah.
and we'd be happy to guide them along the way.
Awesome.
Actually, Lentricot's Martin Caspar has an Ossobuco class there. That's
Oh,
amazing.
I
His
love
ossobuco
ossobuco.
is
Ossobuco is
really,
very
really good. With
Oh.
most Fritz, so amazing. I love
love
that class.
ossobuco.
And he also has a
does
beef
he do it
Wellington
with the-
class.
Oh, he does?
He does.
Yeah.
So, fun little fact, my kids during lockdown did beef Wellington for my husband. I think it was for Father's Day or for your birthday. Which one? One of those days that was just for him. And we had gone through like this whole, I think we went through all of the episodes of Gordon Ramsay.
Okay. Okay.
So of course that was the inspiration.
Of course.
But I just thought it was amazing that my kids wanted to make that for their dad, and they did really good. So good job, Team Jelly Bean. Everybody got in the kitchen, and they made him a beautiful beef Wellington that, of course, I still talk about to this day. So it's great. I think that inspiration, getting the kids in the kitchen for Nino and myself, is something not just to prepare them for life skills, but I think we enjoy getting in the kitchen together because it's a family activity. Were you always interested in becoming chefs?
I come from a family of chefs, so I pretty much grew up
In
in
the
the
kitchen.
house with, fortunately, lots of good food. I had my mom to really guide me through the process. I cooked my first meal at the age of 12. So I could not picture myself in another profession.
Yeah. Well, that must be awesome because then you have like built-in mentors already.
Yes.
That
Yes.
help you and guide you and see you through. How about you, Chef Andrea?
Well, my course in college is hotel restaurant.
Okay.
And I really enjoy the most, well, I'm at the happiest in the kitchen.
Same.
So it's very relaxing for me. Even the prep, people don't like chopping or I find it very comforting working with my hands.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's my love language with my kids. So if I, want to show them that I love them, I miss them, I cook them something.
Okay.
So in a way, that's how I show feelings or how I show love and care.
Service.
Yeah.
Amazing. Me too. I am so like that. Can we taste this before we get into our rapid fire? And while, after we taste also, I want to just remind you guys again that you can go ahead and share this live stream that you are watching. Of course, hashtag sharing is caring. Make sure to share the giveaway post also on Instagram stories. Tag TEACA15, tag Momma and Manila Kitchen 143 as well, so that you can gain access to the 10 chances to win lifestyle courses here with TEACA. You can check out TEACA.net as well. So what should we try first? Are we all going to try?
Start with the appetizers, the cod.
croquette?
Yes.
Yeah. So will anyone else try with me?
Go ahead.
Does Nino want to try? Nino's hand is coming up in the back. Okay, I will go ahead.
Go ahead.
And try. So I really do enjoy croquettes. So you guys saw me boiling the potatoes while we were doing this and mashing them as well.
How was it?
So tasty.
Yeah.
Crispy on the outside. The aioli is perfect. Love it. Very easy to make too. I mean,
It is.
You can freeze
Croquetas.
it, which is very important for moms. You can pre-make it and just leave it in the freezer.
which, when it comes to prepping, so my kids are still small. Well, one is really still small. So I pack lunch for her every day. Sometimes she has requests, and sometimes it's just whatever's left over from dinner the night before. Usually goes in. But croquettes is perfect. Like, you could actually, if they're small enough too, you could even, kids like to eat with their hands, so anything small enough.
True.
Okay, so let's try the duck.
Duck leg confit.
I'm so excited. Can I show you guys this first? So yummy. And then you have the rice pilaf. So the rice pilaf was made very easily in the pot on the stove. So no, we did not use a rice cooker for that. And I was using.
But you
like,
can
doing
if you want to.
So I am very excited for this, and I know Nino would be as well. I'm just going to bite into the duck, of course, with all that sauce.
It's a burst of flavor. I mean, the spices really pops out.
So good. I'll take another bite. It's that good. The coconut, it's creamy. The spice is there. It's not overly spicy, so just the right amount of chili. It's earthy, it's warm. There's texture too to the sauce. It's not like a gravy that you would put on. You could see when we smeared it. Okay, so while I'm taking my next bite, because I can't talk with my mouth full, why don't you say some of the other courses besides the kimchi and besides the party trap?
Okay,
Party platters, party trays.
We have easy Korean cooking. We have baking courses like
Actually, Chef Kristan's Tanjong class is amazing. It's really good
True.
for people who wants to learn how to bake breads. It's a beginner course for learning how to bake breads. You know, like those light, airy, fluffy breads. That's that we
Like
all
the
Filipinos like.
brioche and-
Yeah, yeah,
True,
sweet
true.
breads.
recently we just launched the baklava cheesecake.
Wow,
Yes.
that sounds really yummy. Who taught
Yes.
That's Chef Dada's class. It's basically crunchy cheesecake with lots of pistachios and walnuts
so
and
good. I
rose
want
water.
I want another
It was
bite.
really good.
that? That sounds really delicious.
Yeah. So we want to go out of the box with our lifestyle courses. We don't want the usual common recipes that you'd find. So
Right.
we want to make it a little more exciting. So whoever enrolls can, experience something different.
Yeah. And this truly has been a wonderful experience learning some this Macanese dish with a twist. So Chef Wilson was saying he would normally make it with chicken. It's a very common dish, and everyone has their own take on it.
Yes.
And it's really delicious. I can't wait to make it for my family. Okay, so chefs, I've seen, I've worked with some chefs in the kitchen. I've had the privilege of witnessing some of them put together some really amazing meals. And your ribbons, your
Sash,
sashes,
yes.
and you have the V, and you have a sash. So I was asking earlier, I noticed in the flyer for Chef Wilson Chu that he's part of the disciples of the Escoffier Macau.
Yes.
Correct.
Right? So tell us, for those of us that don't know, what is the Disciples of Escoffier?
Okay. So the Disciples of Escoffier International is an international gastronomic society
Yeah.
that was founded back in 1954. So we're actually celebrating this year.
70.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're celebrating 70 big years.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. So, of course, the Disciples of Escoffier is an organization that evolves around the ideals, the dream, the vision of the great chef Auguste Escoffier. What a lot of us don't know is that Escoffier is actually very instrumental in developing a lot of things that to us these days is very normal. Like, for example, the bouillon cube,
Yeah.
which we all use in our
Yes,
kitchens,
everybody
right?
uses it in the
That
kitchen.
was Escoffier's invention.
Wow!
Canning-
Oh my gosh, that's like such a little tidbit of knowledge there.
Correct. I mean, canning meats, canning vegetables, that's all Escoffier.
Yeah. So he was a visionary.
He was a visionary. I mean, the guy was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He was the guy who organized the kitchens. He was the one who created what we call the kitchen brigade system, where you have the executive chef, the sous chef. That's right.
Which is very important. I don't
It
know.
is.
Have you guys watched Bear?
Yes.
Oh, we love it.
Yes.
We
Love
love
it.
it. Yes.
Is it so true to life, though? I
It is.
mean, like, it did so
The
well
screaming.
for the awards.
Most of
The
it.
screaming part.
Well, I think that's more a Chicago thing and an
Yeah.
Italian thing.
Yes.
Because they're
Or
Italian. Like
Chicago
that
thing.
Christmas
Yes,
scene
yes.
with Jamie
Yes.
Lee Curtis.
Yes,
I was
yes.
like, oh, Lord, that could be some of my Italian family. I think that's a cultural Italian thing. So,
Yeah.
so it's not the screaming so much in the kitchen.
Not
really.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not
Not
here.
so much.
But
the
rest
pressure
of
is
it,
there.
It's of
Definitely
course it is.
Pressure
the
is
high
there.
standard.
Yes,
right?
of course, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
he,
so-
he created the brigade.
He created the brigade. The guy brought fine dining food into the ships during a time where the ships would just serve normal, meals.
day, yeah.
The guy said, "Why can't we bring fine dining into ships?"
Wow.
I mean, the guy was
So we can thank him for that. too.
definitely. He wrote a lot of books.
Yeah.
And a lot of the practices that we do in culinary arts today is still from Escoffier's work.
Okay.
Yes.
So 70 years old. Anyone can be a member.
Okay, there are different types of memberships.
Yeah.
For most, there are certain requirements to be a
Yes.
member. For some, there really is no requirement. Like, for example, the blue ribbon.
Okay.
Our blue ribbons are for gourmands and Epicureans.
So
as long as you love food, love good wine, good food, good company, then,
Then you
yes,
can join.
you can
Where do I
join.
sign up?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
what's the difference between your V and her sash?
Okay, Chef Andrea's sash, red sash, represents the profession of a chef.
Okay.
And the difference is that if you see a V sash, V sashes are for the presidents of the delegation.
Okay.
So I
press.
am the president of the Philippine delegation, sort of like a country.
So we can actually call you Chef Prez or
Sort
Prez
of.
Chef.
Sort of, yes.
And then so you lead the country in the organization.
That's
you guys
right.
organize events. You
That's
can
right.
have dinners with other disciples.
Other disciples,
And
other gourmands, other Epicureans.
And then you offer these classes. You can do
That's right.
dinners, you can do classes. There are other events that you can join.
That's
Is
right.
there a website for the Philippine delegation?
Not yet, but we have
Okay.
a Facebook page. That's Disciples Escoffier Philippines.
Okay, wonderful. So they can go ahead and check it out.
yes,
If they're
please.
foodies and want to wear a blue ribbon.
Yeah, definitely. The organization now has over 30,000 members worldwide, and about 25,000 of them are chefs.
That's fantastic. So you really gain actually worldwide access to talent who is generous with passing on their knowledge, of course, and there's mission behind it, right? So obviously Escoffier had a greater vision of the culinary world and what you could do through the impact of, serving delicious meals and putting things together. So I think that's really amazing. And there is a Philippine, I guess, chapter
Yes.
that focuses on not just bringing these different visiting chefs, but you also have a give back feature.
Yes, that's right. So we focus on transfer of knowledge from senior chefs to junior chefs. We focus on promoting French cuisine, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, the memory of Auguste Escoffier.
Yes.
And charity as well. Charity is a big thing for us.
Yeah.
So every year we have certain charity events
That's wonderful.
that give back to those who are not as fortunate as.
Yeah. So definitely sharing the kitchen love beyond just serving you a fantastic meal. Okay, so now we are ready. We can do our rapid fire. We'll just do them quick, actually, and I'll cut them in half so that we can also not keep you as long. I know you guys have so many other things going on. Who shaped your relationship with food?
Oh, that's easy. My mom.
Yeah.
My mom.
My mom as well.
Mom then.
My mom as well.
My mom too. Favorite food as a kid?
Sweet and sour pork.
Still your favorite food?
Not.
Paella.
Still favorite?
Still.
Yeah.
Still.
That's a good paella. Is really good. Favorite cuisine as an adult?
Korean.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Favorite cuisine?
French.
French. What is your favorite dish to prepare for your loved ones?
Ooh, that's
That's a tough one.
a tough one.
That's a
That's
tough
a-
one. Well, my kids are actually incredibly picky. Even if they hate eating in their dorms, they would come home, grab food, and
And then go back.
Yes, so I would have it prepared every Sunday. It's like labeling, putting it in plastic containers, and they
Aw.
just bring it so they can just microwave.
That's like a weekly baon, not like my baon that I pack
No,
for
it's
jelly
like-
every day.
It's oh gosh, that's a very hard question. What will you cook? Well, it greatly depends what they're craving, but
What do you love cooking and putting and serving them?
I love a really nice. Personally, I love good soup,
Yeah.
especially if it's cold.
Okay.
So, I would have sometimes this huge mungo cravings with
Ooh,
fried fish.
I love mungo and
Really
fried
good
fish.
mungo with fried fish.
There is nothing
amazing.
better, yeah.
It just makes me happy, and nobody can talk to me while I'm eating it.
So your mungo, you said soup. So your mungo is really soupy.
It's
Because I
soupy.
like mine really malapot.
Malapot with a lot of
Right?
squash.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you put squash?
Put squash in mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to get that recipe from you. How about you? What's your favorite to serve your family?
It's got to be cassoulet.
Oh,
Yes, it's got to be cassoulet.
okay.
So-
So that takes quite a long time, longer than mungo and frying fish.
Quite a long time because it's like today's dish. You have
Yes,
to
you have to
confit
braise
first the
it.
top.
Yeah, good, yeah.
You have to braise it with the beans and all that. But it's very I'd say nostalgic. It's very hearty. I mean it's very comforting to eat a nice bowl of cassoulet.
Is that something your mom made for you?
Not really,
Yeah.
but it's something I learned along the way when I was growing up, when I was going through culinary school,
Yeah.
and because I wanted to focus on French cuisine,
Yes.
it's one of the dishes that I'd say I've perfected.
Ooh, I like that. He's bold with that. You've perfected it, so I'm sure your family enjoys it. Favorite food guru besides Escoffier, of course.
Okay.
Food guru. I like Anita Lowe. She uses a lot of sustainable ingredients. She's very simple, very clean, focuses on the techniques. Even her plating skills are very nice, very straight to the point.
Okay. How about you, chef?
I'd say Alain Ducasse.
Ah,
Yes. I'd say
Okay.
Ducasse.
he's also a visionary as well. I mean, even
Definitely.
right. Okay, I have to look up Anita Lowe. So exciting. Favorite hobby when not cooking or when not in the kitchen or
Ooh.
teaching?
Oh, I have a lot. Oh, God. I like to be busy with my hands, so I crochet.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I embroider
Okay.
and just make stuff with my hands.
So you really have to keep busy. How about you, Chef?
Diving.
Diving. You
Yes.
like to dive.
I like that.
Fantastic. It's a whole different world. down
It's a
there.
whole
It's
different
a whole
world down
different
there.
world. Like
Entirely
just
different.
snorkeling is
Entirely
already amazing, and I can't imagine it going down. Music in the kitchen, yes or no? Chefs almost always say no.
Yes, I'd say no.
Yeah, because
I'd
it's
say
work.
no.
Is it work? But if you're at home cooking in your kitchen, like it grounds you. Would you have music on in the background?
Yes, I
Yeah.
would.
At home.
Yep, at
So-
home, but not here because
Yes.
when I'm
Well,
giving
here,
instructions,
you're teaching. Very
Yes.
different. That's
I
a
mean,
classroom.
at the most, I'd have a light instrumental music
You would.
on the background. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
At home. That's what you would do.
At home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so it's more work for you.
Oh.
Okay, take in, dine out.
take in, well, dine out. I prefer cooking at home, but if
Okay,
I have
cooking
to
at home.
cooking at home, yeah,
Take
third
in, dine
option.
out.
I have to say dine out.
Okay.
I have to say dine out. I like trying
I
other
switched it.
people's cooking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I switced that. I said take in or dine out. It's really take
Out or dine in.
in.
That's why I wasn't so sure what the question was.
It took you so long.
Okay, is a trick question?
Okay, if that's the
Remember,
question, I go
yes.
dine in.
Yeah, because then you would be cooking.
Dine in, definitely.
Okay. Two foods that go together but don't go together.
Two
I'll,
foods.
I'll answer first.
Go ahead.
Two foods that go together. Sinigang
And
and something fried.
you know,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
one
so
chef actually
weird.
said
The
that
wheelies.
sinigang and spam fried crispy.
Ooh,
And I was
okay,
like,
that's
wow,
that's interesting.
good. I'll try. Someone else told us adobo and ketchup. And I was like, I've never done
Oh my
that.
god. Maybe you shouldn't.
There's no judgment. It's okay.
Well, there's so
We
many
won't judge
versions
if there's
of
plastic
adobo.
on the table. There's no judgment here. Okay, last two. Any kitchen or dining accessory that you collect?
Nice.
So
Stop, you do.
it's so pretty.
I know they
and
are.
the colors.
What colors do you like?
I have a lot. It's outside of the house.
I love those. They're just so darn expensive. My
I
goodness.
wait for the sale.
Did you see the sale in the States where they were doing like a Costco sale? It was like, I don't know how
It
many.
was less
think
than
I saw
$100. It was less
How
than
many
$100. So we're
pieces?
just
Yes.
giving it
Yes,
away.
I
for
saw that.
some.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like, what are they doing? Well, I wanted to call someone up and just say, buy me 5 and send them over. Right?
Yeah.
When they
the
were.
teapot, the fondue set. There's
It had
so many
everything.
nice ones.
It had everything.
Ugh.
All my cooking friends, all my kitchen sisters were sending. We were sending each other pictures,
Oh.
and I actually circled. I'm like, I'll definitely keep this, and this, and this, and I could sell the others, and the set's already paid for.
There you go.
All right, so this last one is the one that everybody kind of, there's usually 95% of the people say one or the other. So tapa or tocino?
Tapa.
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 Tapa. You guys are in the 95%. Okay, that wraps up this episode. Visiting TEACA here in Las Piñas, Alabang. You guys can go ahead and visit them on TEACA.net. You can also visit the Instagram profile, which is TEACA50. Make sure to share the poster on your stories as well if you want to be one of the 10 winners who can enroll in their own lifestyle course. And of course, guys, we want to chat with you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're eating, what you're cooking, what you're sharing, what restaurants you're enjoying. Maybe you have some kitchen tips for me because I'd like to use them. Go ahead and download the Rappler Community app and then check out food and travel. I'm there. Tag me, chat me up. And of course, if you have any other questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below. As always, thanks for tuning in. Keep cooking, keep sharing, and of course, keep safe, y'all. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.